Welcome back to RecTalk, the UK's largest recruitment industry podcast. I'm your host, Nitin Sharma. Today I have Erin. I've got Julie Randall. I could nearly call you Erin Randall. Yeah. It's been a long day. And I've got Shradha. You're covering your badge, so I can't see your surname. I should know your surname. It's Sharma. I've got a fellow Sharma on with me. Right. So, Shradha is here to talk about the talent acquisition side of the candidate engagement, bringing these employees into the business, attracting the best talent. You guys are here to talk about the other side of it, which is actually retaining the people within your business. Yeah. And you used a really interesting phrase earlier, which is sort of re-recruiting your recruits, right? So we all know that retention is an important part of any successful business. Yeah. And that's the area that you guys specialize in. Your specialism is obviously going, we want the best talent to join our business. So it's almost like you're at war with each other, because you're saying keep your best people and you're saying let me take your best people. So first of all, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for accommodating the shift around and so on. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves properly, because I did an absolutely shit job of that.
Shall I go first?
Please.
Yeah, so I'm Julie Randall. I run the global strategy at Human Magic. We're employer brand, talent attraction, recruitment marketing agency. And as I say, I was just here today. I've just done a speech on Stage B about, let's not forget that your employees can be your best advocates, your best influencers, and don't forget to keep re-engaging them.
And I'm Erin Cullinan, and I am the social media manager at Human Magic, looking specifically at social media, but broadly as well, like all types of digital content on our website, SEO optimized, paid media ads, all of that good stuff that follows you around the internet. And to Julie's point, like a big part of what I do is employee advocacy programs. So advocating, engaging internal employees to advocate for our business and to encourage each other to stay re-engaged and to stay re-recruited within any company or brand. Yeah.
And I'm Shraddha. I work with Shraddha and I lead character. That means topic internal as so yeah, so I will talk about the job.
Amazing. Thank you guys. Sorry, I was just turning your mic up. It was a little bit low. It's the beauty of a live podcast. This is the shit I have to deal with. If I had a team, it'd be great. I can't retain them.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I've got an answer for that.
So give me the highlights of your talk then. Sort of why is this something that most businesses are struggling with, and is there a quick solution to it?
Yeah.
And Shraddha, I'd like you to think about sort of your role as a talent acquisition consultant within a talent acquisition team in the business. Is it not also your responsibility to ensure that the people that you have brought into the business already, historically and previously, are continually engaged? Or if not, who does that now sit with? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, well, there's some scary stats floating around at the moment. So latest Gallup looking at global sort of employee engagement around the world, only 21% of people, it's the lowest since post-COVID, are actively engaged every day in their daily work life. So that means that 79% of people are turning up to work, not feeling involved, not feeling motivated, not feeling engaged. And what the impact on that is lost production, companies, not being able to be at their best, employees not being at their best, not getting the best out of each other. So it's a massive business issue. The solution, it's not quick fix, but certainly what we do when we build employer brands and talent attraction and recruitment marketing is to put the employee in the middle of the focus of it and make them the change agent. So they become part of the change, not the problem. They help to solve the problem. And, it's a bit like the endowment effect, where you say when you build a piece of furniture from IKEA, you're more proud of it because you've played a part. And it's the same with people. If you get them to be part of change, if you get them to be part of cultural transformation, you get them to be part of the business and where we're going, they're more likely to want to stay, get involved, and not be disengaged in the workplace.
And I think the benefits are felt internally and externally as well. So if you think about me in my role, like if I start creating content for the Human Magic channels for our company, advocating for the business, I feel involved, I feel engaged. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. The people in my team, my colleagues, my friends, my peers see that and they think, I want to do what Erin's doing. That's great. It's not just, you know, looking at like senior leaders and CEOs. It's like feeling a part, seeing yourself in the person that's represented on channels is super important. I always say to my clients, when you take a photo, the first thing you look for in your photo is yourself. And when we're on digital channels, we're just looking to see ourselves reflected back at us. So it's super important to put our real people, the people that are on the ground, on the social channels, reflecting them real life experiences. And that brings in, as Julie says, the internal engagement, but it also helps our external engagement as well. It really showcases what that really friendly, person-led, human magic-centered culture that, you know, we all know and love, yeah.
What say you?
Yeah, so I would like to add something very interesting. So there's also on a journey of rebuilding our culture, rebuilding our internal brand. I believe after COVID, in the flexible working from home, working from anywhere, has really disengaged the
Yeah.
and that is something we're trying to fix. You know, if they're making any hybrid work, are the days some mandatory days in the office? Are we trying to do the meeting outside of the normal days in the office? And are we, you know, is the manager coming in on a Thursday for a team lunch? So those kind of things, you help people feel that, oh, they're a part of a big family.
Yeah.
Rather than just sitting at home feeling.
Yeah.
I think the able to come the big deal, driving that to the activities in the office also.
Yeah.
Now in terms of outside engagement, I guess it's important that you have people internally you want to look after, you want to give them an opportunity to grow, apply to internal job. But there are some skill gaps. Your market is changing. There are some jobs where we need skills and experience where people have worked in a particular company, in a particular environment, which we are trying to work on. And we are trying to build that agile sport. So you would need that experience and skill. And for that, you need to go out. Although you cannot stay your current team, but then that's the appetite which the candidate and the internal employee has to build. If they don't want to upskill themselves, if they're pretty comfortable in their job, hardly can do anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's important that to give them an opportunity. And at the same time, you still need to be on the lookout what's going on in the market.
Definitely.
What's their potential.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the market is brutal. And every job is replaced.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to get yourself being up and there in the market. You know, I can do this for these certificates. But then, you know, how do you keep yourself educated, skilled, but for all the opportunities internally and externally? I think it's only your ownership more than the company.
Yeah.
But then to bring your point up, if you're disengaged, why would you want to then upskill yourself specifically for your employer when you don't want to be there?
Well, what I always say to, like, when we do employee advocacy projects, which basically looks like us coming in, working with a select group of employees to create some digital content that reflects their experiences at said company, right? But it's great for the individual as well, and it builds their personal profile. And I do always say that, you know, this is great for your CV or resume. It really showcases what you do day to day. And in a world where we see CVs and job applications completely completed by AI bots, everyone's saying the same. It's a piece of video where you're actually doing your job and showcasing your skills. It's great for your personal profile, as well as it's great to showcase company culture. Yeah.
Culture is an important one, and you mentioned a couple of things there, which I think there's sort of two trails of thought here, right, in my mind. The first is that has the remote working or hybrid working model destroyed the company culture to the extent that people feel disengaged and motivated, or is it the fact that you're now forcing everybody back in the office that's making them disengaged and motivated and making them go, well, fuck you, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Because you can't on the one hand say the culture of this business is on decline, we need to do something about it, get them all back in the office, if that's the thing that's creating the issue in the first place. I say to a lot of my sort of original audience and stuff was recruitment business owners, and they had to go from sending everybody work from home to now force them back into the office. And a lot of the work I did in the early years, the last couple of years, is that look, it is not their responsibility to scratch your ego.
No,
You need
No.
everybody back home back in the office. Because you don't feel important anymore.
Yeah.
Or your lack of ability to manage people remotely,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're now enforcing
Yeah.
it then.
Yeah.
'Cause you don't know
Yeah.
how to do it,
Yeah.
so it's their problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Sure.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
The balance. You know,
There,
you
I've
need
got
work
to
on the
be,
balance.
yeah.
Not thing is, before COVID, there were organizations, they were coming to law. But then people became really flexible, they got comfortable. They really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But now people are also bored of it. They're not realizing. I think it's all about the psychological, stimulation. We are not understanding being disability. Of course, it's an employer responsibility to keep them engaged, follow them activities, others regular activities. But I still feel there's a vibe around you. And for that, to get that vibe feel, we meet sometime in office, whether it is 1 day a week, 2
Yeah.
days a week, 3 days a week, whatever, 1 day, 2 days.
do you need time in the office or do you need time around people?
I time
Yeah.
around people.
People.
Yeah.
People.
Around
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
So would it not make more sense from a business's perspective to say we're now going to invest in micro offices?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what a
We've
lot
got
of
a bunch
businesses
of people
do.
in
Yeah.
Manchester.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
all live all over the place, and our office is
Yeah.
in Liverpool.
That's what we
We've hired a
do.
load of people in
Yeah.
Manchester. So now let's find a WeWork or something
Yeah,
similar.
That's what,
Exactly.
yeah,
They can
that's
go
what we
and
do,
hang out,
isn't it?
you know,
Yeah.
it just seems
Yeah.
to be an expense.
That's
Honestly,
what we
the
do.
first 3 years of my recruitment business,
Yeah.
working from a hotel lounge,
Yeah. Yeah.
at the cost of a coffee every 3
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah, but you still recruited people. You
Yeah.
still, yeah.
Grew
yeah.
and scaled that business to
Yeah.
the point where we could afford to
I
move
think-
to an office.
It's a reflection because what's happening at the moment is destroying trust.
Yes.
So trust is declining even more than engagement. The two go hand in hand, right? So if you're being told to come back into the office, that means that your leadership do not trust you.
Yeah.
That's what people are telling us. And actually the leadership is saying, we don't trust them.
Yeah.
So there's a massive disconnect there that you have to, it's going back to the 80s and 90s. But I can remember that because I'm old enough that you did the presenteeism. You have to be in the office, you put your jacket on the back of your coat just to let everyone know you're still there. And we've moved on so much. I think businesses need to be really careful about these mandates. I mean, I'm not going to mention the businesses are paying more bonus if you're in the office 5 days a week.
Oh.
Very well-known companies. It is dangerous. It is going backwards. I think people just want flexibility.
Yeah.
And then, it's...
I think during COVID as well, like, terrible time, but everyone's life slowed down. And do we really want to go back to that, like, fast-paced, like, in the office for 8:30 a.m. and not leaving until 5:36, commuting, going to pick your kids up, trying to find time for hobbies, do a grocery shop, live a life, watch some television, go to the gym. Like, we can't fit it all in. Yeah, we can't fit it all in. And I think that humans now see that we have autonomy.
Yeah.
And we are able to say, no, I want some quality of life, me time. Yeah, I want some balance. And, but I think there's a middle ground. I think totally remote isolates people. I think sometimes it works for your life, but when you're isolated, it's not good.
No.
Yes.
Then you get around people and you're like, wow, I feel good again. I've got a spring in my step. But it doesn't have to be 5 days in the office.
Yes, there's a balance.
No.
You work on the balance and have to work on 4 hours. When you're in the office, you start flexible, you got to pick up the drops, and nobody's judging you on it instead of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About being there with your team, doing something together, collaborative environment. And just again, not really managing it,
No, yeah.
giving them the freedom.
Freedom, yeah.
And to make them empowered.
Exactly.
So when you come,
Empowerment is
what times
important.
you come, what days you come. It's just about the starts behind in the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you decide what you have to do.
Yeah.
You have to work.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
very like that at Human Magic, aren't we?
Yeah,
It's
we
like-
have micro.
Yeah.
We just build little office spaces around the people. And we do try to get people together because we're a creative business. And I'd say the only areas where sometimes just coming together is that creative process.
Yeah.
And just brainstorming ideas. And there's nothing more magical than humans being together in the creative process. And that's where I think.
But if you're mandating, that needs to happen. Yeah, creative time is
Yeah.
between 12 and 4
Yeah.
every Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's at this particular location.
Yeah.
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 So that's what we're starting to do.
Yeah.
Is get little micro teams together to work on client problems.
And it's exciting, isn't it? Like when we start a new creative journey with a client, and then we think like the core team are going to get together in London next, in the next few weeks, and we're going to mind map out our ideas and collaborate and like come with some, different ways of doing things, and everyone's excited for it. Like we're excited.
And we still get the remote people coming in, using the murals or the mirrors, so you can have both going on at the same time. It's not one or the other, is it?
Knowledge a point though. This really only works. This model of kind of utopian work-life blend in jobs that allow that to be the case, right? Whether I work in tech, procurement,
absolutely,
right?
yeah. We're lucky
to do this because that allows us to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If we were factory workers,
No.
there's no working from home.
No.
Right?
Doctors, no.
Yeah. I don't want to FaceTime my doctor while he's on a beach.
No, yeah.
No, it's all right, mate. You're working from home today. That's cool. Yeah. Have a look at that, will you? It's not going to happen. So take TalkTalk as an example. You guys would have a contact center, assuming it's still in the UK. Those staff, look, I'm ex-contact center, very, very long time ago. I hated it. I didn't want to be there. I was there for one reason and one reason only: the paycheck.
Yeah.
How do you motivate those people? How do you retain those people?
Yeah.
How do you engage those people? Because they're looking around going, everyone else in this business gets to work remotely, and I've got to come into the fucking call center every day. And I have a headset on, and I have to hear beep. To talk, you'll speak to John. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have some clients that it's a huge FMCG company, global company, and they have warehouse staff. So similar style, they have corporate offices where there's remote benefits, people work from home, but in the warehouses, it's, you're in, that's it. But they have different benefits for the warehouse staff, and there is this really they talk about it quite a lot, like family style, friendly culture. They put on like dinners, brunches, breakfasts, all different kinds of cultural celebrations, DEI celebrations, but even just, it's Wednesday and the managers are all going to jump on and serve all the employees like breakfast.
Yeah.
And so I think it's extending, it's finding out what will make people tick beyond the paycheck.
Yeah.
If they've got to be here, how can we make it nice for them to be here? How can we make it enjoyable for them to be here? Coffee with friends, social chats, opportunities to hang out, opportunities to connect. It not just being about like coming in and doing your job and getting that paycheck.
You can't leave them alone, you just take the ownership. You need to clean the office, you need to clean the office, reward them, incentivize them. So I think it's all about those small things matter the most.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. It's just, find those little things that really will motivate people, and also think about, big trend at the moment, it's always been there, but it's growing, is that internal mobility piece. So we actually did a piece with BT where actually quite a few of the call center staff actually got retrained, and they're now in the cybersecurity team, because they had the right mindset, some of the skill set, but we were willing to, they were willing to give them a chance and upskill them. And there was a lady in her late sort of 50s, and she said, I've been here all my life in the call center. I thought I'd just try. And she was one of the best candidates and got it, and it changed her life.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying everybody, I think you made a really good point, not everybody wants that.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the staff that want to just stay where they are. Just let them be happy in what they're doing.
Yeah.
But for the ones that actually want a bit more, how do we make that happen as a business?
Let me get your guys' thoughts on this then. Given what you guys do and given your position in your business in this model, I have a client out in America. They build custom apps for what they call staffing agencies. Right. Basically temp agencies in the UK, right? And then what they've done is intentionally gone after volume-based businesses. Right. So things like warehouse operatives, call center operatives, healthcare workers, and that kind of thing. And what they want to do is they go, look, this work-life balance of flexible working, that's available to everybody except for these people, right? So we want to fill that in and make that possible. So how they operate is, say we take the call center example, say we need 40 people in this call center at any given time, from the hours of 8 a.m. through to 6 p.m. that's on this portal. Staffing wise, there's 80 to 100 candidates on that app, and they can choose the hours that they want to do. So I do all my school runs. All the school runs I do.
Yeah.
I can go, I can't start till 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can do 10 till 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've got my wife who'll pick up the kids.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
This person might go, I can only do between the hours of 10 and 2. So
Yeah.
I have to pick up the kids.
Yeah.
But my husband comes home at 5, so I can log back on again from 5 till 6, and I can do an hour in the...
Exactly.
And they basically plot it out so that, look, all the hours are covered. You want
Yeah.
a 40 FTE between the hours of 8 a.m.
Yeah.
and 6 p.m. We've got that covered.
Yeah.
It's not 40 staff.
Yeah.
It's a combination of 86 to 97.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's done.
Yeah.
And then if somebody calls in sick, it pings a notification in. Guys, we need a shift covering from 4 till 6. Is anyone
Yeah.
available to do it?
Yeah.
We'll pay 1.5 hours overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you go, oh yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Mum, can you watch the kids? I've got to
Yeah.
go into work for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine, cool. How long do you think it would take for the UK market to become accepting of that type of
Oh,
opportunity?
good
'Cause
question.
I think there's something there in this way.
Oh, definitely. I mean,
Because that goes down to like even things like mechanics
Yeah.
and like sort of manual labour work and that kind of thing. Like being able to Uberize
Yeah.
work in
Yeah.
do you not think it's a thing that the UK does accept? Because I
I
would.
haven't seen it in not in
Right.
the healthcare industry,
No.
in the call centre industry.
I can hear you from the top of perspective. If you've had like flexibility to do it, working for 30 days, your days, how much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So see, first 6 weeks, they need to be in the office to be training, but then they get them the plastic to work on there. So we do have that facility. But you know, to come for that shift, which your doctor thought is like a massive, that's like
Yeah.
full trust.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
get the autonomy to move around and everything. It's also because, you know, UK is very thin country.
Yeah.
Cleaner organizations.
Yeah.
We have budget constraints. We have economies are completely different.
Yeah.
And we are a very sensitive country. No, we value human, we value human. And we try to keep people close. So we don't treat them as pots, you know, we treat them as human. So, you know, we want that human touch. We want to touch them, we want to warm them rather than just leaving them on their own ethic. I'm not saying that what it be. What I'm saying is that's a pure cultural shift more than anything else.
It is. Yeah. It is.
And
Yeah.
I can say up in your here, see
Yeah.
that people leave you on your own, but they still want to check on you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we are leaner. There is a budget constraining to work on a specific mindset.
Yeah.
Think big, but we don't think massive.
Yeah.
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 That's where
Yeah.
the problem is.
Yeah.
I think it's just about there'll be a certain set of people, I think, within society that proposition is so appealing.
Yeah.
So I think it's about, you know, I know people who do delivery driving because it fits around their life, right?
Yeah.
And they do exactly the same thing.
mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've got an app.
If you can run your
Yeah.
Harrison's delivery
Exactly.
model on
Yeah.
that model,
Exactly.
Yeah,
no reason why you can't run your call centre
No, not at all.
or your
No.
night care business on that.
Not at all. Not
No
at
reason
all.
at all.
No.
I think
And then you might find that the employee engagement piece increases.
Of course it
and the
would.
retention piece increases.
Because they're doing it.
And your role within
The life.
talent acquisition
Yeah,
consultant
definitely.
then purely becomes resourcing
Yeah.
the model to make sure there's enough shifts and shift
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your resource planning, that's your role.
Yeah.
Rather than headhunting and having to go out and
Yeah.
worry about
You'd find your.
I think
to an interview process.
Yeah.
I think it's about giving people choice, isn't it? And I think if employers who don't offer people choice or autonomy continue to operate that way, they are going to miss out on amazing talent. You've got to think about the world we live in. We've got so much choice every day. You know, you want to buy a set of headphones on Amazon, you can select from thousands of options and you can have them the very next day, for example. Like, we can choose literally anything and to the minute detail. We're not going to stand for going to work and being told, like, these are the shifts and this is it and this is where you're working from. And that's it. We'll go and find something better because there is so much choice out there. I mean, it's hard, but there is choice in our world. We're used to having our own autonomy, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
This has been insightful. I've really enjoyed this. Any closing thoughts from you guys?
I would just say it's important that you engage people internally. That's really important. They're your brand ambassadors. But then, when we have those skill gaps, we really in the opportunity to kind of skill themselves. They still see there is a gap, there is a change in the mindset. It's important. There's no problem in looking out to see what's going on and just embrace that change and maybe bring those people in so that, people are also motivated. Oh, I can look something for this person. Oh, this person looks nice. I can also maybe shift my career to that path. So I guess when you have that churning going on, people also feel fresh to see new faces. New people to work with, new things to learn. So again, the set, always. It's all about balance. All the external, hybrid, remote, sport.
I think I would say it's super important to include your people in your content journey. Like, I mean, I'm digital content, aren't I? But I think, like, if you wanna retain the people that you've got and attract good talent, then you wanna showcase. You wanna allow the people to be a part of it and showcase that really authentically to the outside world. So yeah, that would be my.
Yeah, and what we're trying to do, whether we're helping companies recruit, retain, or engage them, is just try to look at someone in the 360 view. Your example is really, really important, and it's not like, I don't see the next bit thing, but the severance thing, it's like, I think as an industry, we just treat people like you walk through the door at work, you become a different person, or you take a chip out at the end of that. I wish I could take a chip out sometimes. But it isn't like that, and we've got to start seeing people in the 360, understand what life stages someone is at, like you do in consumer marketing. We need to learn a lot more, because once, in the UK, the economy picks up, those people will go, and they will find a better company,
find a better choice,
and
I think you're absolutely right. It's not a case of if, when.
It's when.
And it's not a case of they might go, they will.
They will go. We know they'll walk. They'll literally walk in numbers, and just watch out, businesses, because if you're reneging on all your responsibilities, around DEI, and it will come back.
This next generation, you're probably seeing this from the TA perspective. This next generation, of sort of the Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they are so driven by social responsibility.
Yeah, they are.
And they are so they hate being lied to.
Yeah, definitely.
It just doesn't sit well, right?
No.
And they don't forget these things either. Whereas you would be like, well, look, we were all of that generation that were buying horse meat from Tesco.
Yeah.
No one went to prison.
No.
Nobody had a big fine about it.
It became a joke. It was just like,
I'm veggies.
Right?
Yeah.
If that was to happen to this generation, Tesco
would be.
Oh
yeah.
It wouldn't be
absolutely coming.
But
These guys were boycotting numbers.
Yeah.
How dare you do that?
You're making me question my moral compass. I'm going to stop shopping at Tesco.
I mean, look, our generation's been through catastrophe after catastrophe.
Yeah. Put up with it.
Just okay.
What's next?
Of course, there's horse meat in my burger. Why wouldn't there be?
Exactly. Yeah, the economy's on its arse, houses aren't affordable, and now I'm eating horse meat.
Obviously, yeah.
Whereas these guys are so like, no, I ain't taking that.
You're so right.
Yeah.
I've got, I'm more, my self-worth is more than enough.
Yeah, definitely.
I think as employers and as business owners, we need to accept that this isn't a case of trying to change these guys to work and operate within our operators.
Yeah.
We need to.
I agree. Stop moaning.
Share your story, share what's going right. Take them apart.
Be real,
Transparency and authenticity. And the number of times, you just get people in management moaning about, this next generation, I don't understand them, and it's like, well, you need to.
Yeah, they're the most switched on.
They're the most switched on, and I say go for it, guys, because something needs to change. So, we need to embrace it.
When you talk about money, the budget, it's not about money, it's about acknowledging small little things. They do the fix it right. Hey, this was nice. Little note on the email.
Exactly.
Things, it really matters to them.
Yeah, and it's not Pizza Fridays and
No.
dishes.
Google Slides.
Too forced, yeah. Yeah, it's just like, just being real, being a human,
Yes.
being sound, being
Yeah.
complimentary, yeah, warm,
I used to
safe.
call it a belly rub. I had a guy who used to work for me, right? His name is Aiden. He was 19, great guy. And like, my business partner used to be like, this kid, man, he just does my head in. Like, he's always coming up to, oh, I did this. And I go, right, yeah, so. And I was like, no, he just needs a belly rub.
He just wants
All
to.
he wants is for you to go, that was really good, mate.
Amazing,
Exactly.
thank you.
What do you want?
Yeah.
He's not asking for a pay rise. He's not trying to get angling for
No, not at
a
all.
little game or trying to get in your good butts. He just wants you to give him a little belly rub and then
Yeah.
he's really good, mate.
Yeah.
Golden retriever energy.
You down,
Yeah.
acknowledge and appreciate. Keep your ego down, acknowledge and
Yeah.
That's it. It's,
Yeah.
It's really
It's human nature. We all just like a little
Yeah.
acknowledgement every now and again, don't we?
How nice
You
is
know?
it when someone tells you they like your outfit or your hair looks nice?
Yeah.
It's like that, but in work, isn't it? Like, yeah, I did something good, thank you, yeah.
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 Oh, that's it. Guys, thank you so much.
Thank
for
you.
joining
Thank
me.
you.
It's been really, really good.
Got you some human magic merch.
Oh.
Magic meat beans. Got vibes always.
I've got, what have I got? Human magic happening right here.
Shradha's got me a discount on Torto.
I can't
We
compete.
can't do that. We give you free EVP.
We don't want discounts on Talk, we just want jelly beans.
Thank you for watching, listening, subscribing. New episodes drop every Wednesday and every Friday. We'll see you again next time. See ya.
Bye.